Today we're talking about should you rent your car on Turo, why or why not. This is coming from a 5-star host on Turo, over 100 trips on the platform. So today I'm gonna talk to you about the pros, the cons, and all the important things that you should know before you consider doing Turo, and what are the things to look out for that's gonna make the biggest difference in your business if you're thinking about this. Now, before we get started, I wanted to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Rue. I've been an investor since 2009 and have started multiple businesses since then, and I have nothing to sell you. All I wanna do is make you richer than you were yesterday. That's the whole point of this channel. And if you agree with that messaging, make sure to subscribe. And to kick things off on a positive note, I'd like to talk about the pros first. And the first pro is that you'll probably get lots of bookings. The reason being is because most of us live either in a major hub or a big city, and if that's the case, guess what? You're in luck. If your car is well priced and you have a lot of open availability, guess what? You're gonna have a lot of renters. And the way that that happens is that Turo does all the marketing for you, which is really, really nice. All you have to do is create the listing, post some quality high resolution pictures, and set a fair market price for your car, and voila, you have yourself your very own car rental business. Pro number 2 is that it's an easy to use app and website. Turo, both for the host and for the renter, actually has a very easy to use interface that's not super jumbled or convoluted, and they've been working on that for years and years and years. And because of all this, they have become the #1 person-to-person car rental platform. And the third pro that they're still kind of working on is that they have good 24/7 customer support. Now, I think this could be a little bit better, and I have a whole video about my claims process on this. But overall, if you are a renter or if you are a host, most things that you reach out to Turo about, they're gonna be pretty responsive with. But there are some things that they could be better at, and that leads us into the cons. The first con is their lack of transparency. This is where Turo gets a little bit sketchy. Even though Turo is a platform where you can list your vehicles, they try to make it seem like they're there to help you as the host. But unfortunately, they are not your partner, they are not your friend, and they will do absolutely anything in their power to not help you if you don't follow all their policies. Now, fundamentally speaking, that's a good thing because they want to go public, and in order to do that, you have to be very, very precise with everything that you do, and everything has to be by the books. But when you operate by the books, sometimes policies can get in the way of business. And that's what I see happening from Turo from time to time. I have had these issues come up in a minor way, but I know a lot of stories on the internet where people have been burned by Turo in a very, very bad way. Cars being totaled, Turo not paying out either at all or for months and months and months, and that could be a really big problem for everybody involved. Now, of course, these are very rare instances where Turo is gonna F you over, but they do happen, and it is something to keep at the back of your mind when thinking about doing this business. The second con that I thought I should note is also the fact that Turo takes a large commission. I mean, we're talking about something that is 7, 8, 9, 10 times bigger than a platform called Airbnb.
What?
Airbnb only takes 3.5% commission off of every single rental. Turo, on the other hand, goes anywhere from about 9.5%. That means zero coverage, everything is out of your own pocket. If a car gets totaled, it's on you, all the way up to a 60-40 plan. 40% that Turo takes and 60 that you get to pocket, and that is the plan that everything is covered.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, of course, everything is covered if you also follow the policies. Now, if you don't and you miss just one thing, maybe taking before pictures or taking proper after pictures or not doing them in the right allotted amount of time, you could get screwed even on the 60-40 plan, even if you've done hundreds of trips and you're an all-star host. Now, I'm sure they'd work with you a little bit more if you've proven yourself on the platform, but I don't know that for sure. Luckily, I haven't had to find out, but reading some of the reviews online, those are not good shoes to be in. And who really benefits from all of this? And the answer to that is simple. Turo does. They're the ones that are profiting the most, and you're just there to make a small income. Now, last but not least, this is what I wanted to cover that I think everyone will benefit from, and that is their bad customer service. Used to be really good. I used to be able to get on the phone and talk to someone in the United States, and even their chat support was really fast, transparent, and could answer almost every single question. That has kind of gone downhill. And what I mean by this is if you did go through chat and you talk to someone, usually they can only answer a handful of questions. Then they send you to another department. That other department can only answer a certain amount of questions. If you get on the phone with them, the same hoops exist where you have to jump through this hoop and then that hoop in order to get your question answered. And some departments, for example, claims, you can only reach them via email. And this process can take weeks, if not months. Like for me, it took a few months to actually get things sorted out on one of my claims. Now, just 2 years ago, this process was better, and now it's seemingly getting worse, and I hope it doesn't continue to get worse, because that is one of the biggest things that you have to nail as an organization is your customer service. Now that we've gone through the pros and cons, I did want to mention some other side notes that I think you might find useful before you start hosting on the platform. And the first thing is, if you can't commit to working on your Turo business on weekdays, weekends, and most holidays, then this business might not be for you. If you need your car on a daily or weekly basis, besides the ability to plan out trips far in advance, it also may not be ideal to your situation. You must also be okay with taking a few hours before your trips to clean the car and maintain the car, and also remember to take photos of the car, and even in some instances, if you have this setting turned on, deliver the car to where the renter wants it delivered. So all those things are super important and crucial and will demand your time. So remember, if time is a valuable asset for you and you don't plan to have a fleet of cars, this might not be the business for you. If you worry about someone wrecking your car and not having the right insurance or the right coverage, and this goes from anything like rim damage or a windshield crack or literally getting your whole bumper taken off, those things could very well happen. And if you can just be prepared for the worst, then when the worst doesn't happen, you can be happy. And when or if it ultimately does happen, you can be fully prepared for a situation like that. And remember that you can't please everyone. Sometimes you'll get a 4-star, 3-star review, even if you did absolutely everything that was in your power. And even though 99% of all my reviews have been 5 stars, it doesn't mean that 1 or 2 won't slip through the cracks and give you a bad review for something that they didn't like or found irritating, right? So if you tend to take things personally, this also just might not be the business for you, because customers are very nitpicky and there's plenty of people out there that are willing to give you a bad review just because they feel like it. But this is what I would do if I had to start over. This is taking all the experience I learned from doing Turo for 2 years, put into a few main points. First, I'd probably start with either a super high luxury car or a beater so I could buy it at a discount, or if I did the high value car, so that way I could rent it out for a lot of money per day. The high value car will stand out from the crowd, and you can typically rent it for a lot more per day and have less bookings, aka less chance for scratches, things like that. If you did the lower value car, the used car, then volume is your game. Now you're gonna have a lot more competition down here, but if you lower the price because of the low price that you got the car for, you can play the volume game and make probably just as much as the guy up here. It really just depends on what your strategy is, but regardless, both of those would work. If I really wanted to test the waters in a market that I'm not familiar with, you could even lease a car and rent it out, but just make sure that you don't go over the certain amount of miles that is on your lease, because then you'll probably not be profitable. But that would at least allow you to own a car for maybe 1, 2, or 3 years and really test out the Turo market and test out how well that car does before you go out and buy one. And lastly, I would probably find a channel like this that talks about business and talks about Turo and subscribe to that channel. And just having that resource and someone that I can ask questions would have helped me a lot while I was starting this business. And if you want to know about more business ideas, make sure to smash the like button like I said before. Most importantly, subscribe so that way you don't miss a video. And if you want to see all the episodes from the Side Hustle series that I've been doing, anything from driving Uber to door dashing to Turo, make sure to check out this playlist here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.